What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle. Today in the world of indie games, we're going to be fooling around with a title that I've actually recently really fallen in love with. This is a game called Boat Crew, and this is a game that's definitely carrying on in the tradition. If you've ever played Bomber Crew before, this is a game that's aiming exactly for that kind of recognition, except that this game is published by Microprose, so this has a company behind it that has very consistently, since they made the return to gaming, been putting out really solid titles that really kind of like slap. And so anyways, today we're going to be diving on into Boat Crew. This is a game where you are in World War II, and you're in the Solomon Islands, and you are in charge of exactly what the title says, a boat crew. You're in charge of a PT boat fleet, where you are, well, there goes one of my PT boats right there. He just got caught up. But anyways, you're going to be in charge of a PT boat fleet, or a flotilla of PT boats, and your job is to bat out of your league. That's pretty much it. The entire point of the game, bat outside of your league. You're going to be hunting submarines, you're going to be hunting destroyers, you're going to be hunting the big boy ships, and you're going to be trying to turn basically your cheap loadout into a kill on top of the ridiculously absurd ships you can fire torpedoes at. This game is in early access, so it's not done. Not yet anyways. In fact, it's still fairly early along in its early access journey. But I have found that the title is exceptionally fun. It's really well designed. There are some flaws. We'll talk about those at the end of the video so that you can be properly appraised and figure out whether or not you wanted to get the game or walk away or wait for it to get more developments. But let's get moving. On top of that, if you wanted to hang out live, I also have a Discord and a Twitch stream. You can check that out too. I recently streamed this game, so there is 5 hours of me playing the game and hanging out that you can check out there. Just to see how we got to this point. Oof, there went a plane right there. Just to see how we got to this point, what it took to get to this point, and how we built up this little flotilla that we've got, although one of my flotillas just got rocked, which is kind of unfortunate. Do I go back in on these destroyers over here? There are destroyers over there, and I haven't launched my torpedo payload yet. I'm summoning in fighters as well right now. You can see them flying through the air. Angels on our shoulders. We can call in wildcats to assist us and kind of draw fire from the enemy. Right now, I'm defending a port that I recently conquered here in the Solomon Islands, and the Japanese decided to reroute one of their fleets, their absolute, like, fleets of destroyers, to come take it back. So apparently it is a very desperate grab. What I do need to do here, though, is I would like to get torpedoes off on these guys. I don't know if the torpedoes will travel that far, but I'd like to try. So let's see what we can do here without getting blown the hell up, though. Okay, yeah, we got 2 guys down, but I did get 2 torpedoes away. I don't know if they're going to hit anything. They may not. Let's go ahead and pull back. So as a PT boat, what exactly is a PT boat in a naval game? A PT boat is a very small boat. Oh no, we lost our other escort too. All right, it may be time for us to dip on out of this. I don't think that any of our torpedoes landed right there. Actually, I think they may have. It looks like he may be down a destroyer. It's kind of hard to say. I see 2 big boats that are both listing and sinking over there. They're still firing on us, which means they're operational, but I think I'm going to have to come about and see. Nope, both destroyers are still up. So whatever those 2 are that are sinking over there, they've got to be maybe escort craft or something like that. Oof, I've also got 2 KIA. That's unfortunate. Rough fight, real rough fight right there, but welcome to PT Boat. The game is not over just because you got a little bit scuffed. You can always pick yourself up. You can go back on over to a local base. This is the world map. All right, so now that we're back in port, I got to get some more. First of all, we're being hunted right now. I'll talk about that in a minute. We got to replace the crew that we lost. So this is the deck crew of my ship. I've actually got them equipped a little bit wrong right now because I've become privy to how certain other things work inside the game. I've played the game for like 6 or 7 hours. It's got a pretty beefy manual. I played through the tutorial. The manual, though, does not explain everything in the game very well. In fact, I think the manual could probably be redone in a lot of ways. The guide tells you stuff, but it doesn't give you like context for the stuff a lot of the time, or it doesn't show you specifically the thing in action that you want to see. And so there's a little bit of guesswork that goes along with this, but we need a new medic on board. Our medic unfortunately got splashed. So Wayne, welcome on board. We need another engineer on board as well, so we'll pick one of those up very quickly. There's our engineer. You can also choose the loadouts of all of these sailors. So if we go to the loadout menu right here, you get RP for everything that you do in this game. So if you're sinking enemy ships, if you're fighting, if you're capturing ports, if you're scouting, if you're just being gnarly out there in the middle of nowhere, you get RP for all of it. And then you can take that RP and you can apply it to kit out your gunboat. So for example, right here, I've got myself a meat chopper M45 on the back deck. I've got a Ma Deuce on one side. I've got a 30 caliber on the other side. You can get rockets. I've got torpedoes on the side of my boat because the Japanese have now been using way more like large scale ships. And so being able to punch above my weight has become pretty paramount. Unfortunately, in that opening salvo right there, so that you could see what a big fight in this game looks like, we lost both of our escort craft, but this game does have a lot in common with Mount & Blade Warband, in the respect that in Warband, when you're playing as a mercenary, you don't really have any control over anything, right? The map just kind of does what the map kind of does, and you can jump in on fights when and where you want to, and you can influence where and when you want to. This game is identically the same. You are not able to capture ports by yourself. You cannot direct any of the war effort. All you can do is do your job as a PT boat captain, harassing people, generally being a pain in the ass, and just kind of like helping out when and where you can. I wanted to go check in Pavuvu and see what's going on over here. Do a little bit of scouting. Oh, yep, there's some zeros right there. They want us. All right, so apparently we're fighting zeros right now, right at the crack of the dusk. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to need to get the meat chopper up and running. Let's scan some of these guys out. Maybe put a little bit of fire on them. But we do have a lot of planes circling overhead. Planes are a big problem in this game because they tend to be just an unholy ammo soak. That's what I find anyways. That guy's toast. He's not making it. He's straightened out for too long. I don't even know if it's worth winging rounds at that guy. We got one guy coming in for a strafe over here. Go get him, boys. Get him, get him, get him. Okay, a little bit of damage off right there, but nothing too impressive. Strafe coming in right there. Okay, that's another one down. Your crew do have individual health, as you can see on the left-hand side. People get shot by bullets. They take damage. You have gun stations that need to be reloaded and resupplied and things of that nature. Looks like we got more guys coming in. I'm going to go ahead and call in 2 batches of my own fighters to go ahead and fight them off. You can see them now on radar grid. So I should have my own Wildcat fighters out here trying to deal with this. Yeah, you might want to shoot him. He's shooting at us right now. I don't know if you considered the efficacy of maybe returning fire at the enemy, but it wouldn't be the worst idea. Watch out for planes. They will try to come back around and kamikaze you when they're damaged, and they're going to crash anyways. So they will 100% try to pull a kamikaze on you if they know they're going down anyways. And the damage that you can take from being crashed into by one of these zeros can be pretty intensely painful. I don't recommend it. Is that guy dipping in too? Yeah, he is. Okay, he's good. He's cooked. I think we're good here, actually. I think we survived the ambush. So now I can get back to scouting Pavuvu like I wanted to over here. Let's go ahead and take a look at Pavuvu. We'll see what they've got going on. Part of the job of a PT boat is PT boats are basically like fire ships. They're like little tiny ships that will have torpedoes on them or 50 cals, and our job is effectively to be a really cheap $100,000 boat that can take out a $38 million boat. That's pretty much it. Our job is to get in there under the cover of dark, fire some torpedoes off the deck, and run the hell away. In this game, you get to stand your ground a little bit more aggressively, but... Alright, so over here, they've got heavy base defenses in Pavuvu, so we're going to need to be careful about that, but we did get a little bit of RP by scouting it on out. There are named Japanese ships in this game that you will have to scuttle and destroy as you play the game, and you will get huge, enormous infusions of RP if you take those guys down. And so it becomes one of those things. Can I go look at Lunga? What's going on with Lunga right now? If I can get in there and launch a couple torpedoes, they still have the Akizukis in port, and it's nighttime right now. We could get them. Let's try. Let's see if... I'm sorry, it's going to be really, really dark for this section of gameplay. For whatever reason, this game is really dark at night. I can only imagine that it must be insanely dark at sea at night. I don't know. But we're going to want to pull wide. And if we can even get one of these guys, it's a huge loss for the enemy. My boat is worth 1 strength. These guys right here are worth 23. So if we can take one down, we're effectively trading the value of our ship 23 times over. These guys are nasty. And under the cover of dark, I think I can get these torpedoes off. Let me go ahead and take a look. We're going to want them inside like the second inner ring, I think. We're going to fire the sea torpedo first. All torpedoes are sea torpedoes, but from the UI you can see what I'm saying. And we're going to try and scuttle him from right there. Torpedoes out. Torpedoes out. Torpedoes out. Torpedoes out. All right, we turn around and let's watch our handiwork. Let's see if this works. They're going to open fire on us. We need to pull back. And, oh, Jesus. No hits. Torpedoes are hitting. I don't know if we sunk him, but he definitely felt it. Okay, we need to turn around and focus on dodging for right now. Is he listing? Is he sinking? Hey, we got the DD. Nice, dude. Okay, so that's what a PT boat does right there. And now we run the hell away. There's nothing else we can do here against destroyers. That's one thing you have to understand, is that in this game, you are not the hero of the story. You are just a captain with like 6 crewmen trying to bat way outside your league to help out the war effort in the Solomon Islands. But the fact that we splashed a destroyer, that's super good, because that weakens this place's chin like hard. This place is going to be a juicy target for the U.S. Navy now. All right, so we're out of here. We sunk one of their destroyers. They're going to be really upset about it. This is our alert level up at the top right-hand corner. The higher that is, the more likely it is that the enemy is going to send specific hit squads against you and whatever port of harbor you're claiming at the moment. So probably they'll send out a hit squad to Savo. For the moment, I want to go ahead and get my torpedoes replenished, because we're going to come right back down here and we're going to do it again. If we can take those 2 destroyers out, this place is wide open for invasion, and we just lost it, and I'm feeling a little bit salty about it. All right, so let's go ahead and pull back into port. We'll kind of re-kit ourselves up. We'll see how we're feeling, and we'll get back out there for some more action. You also have 2 switches over here you can play around with. There's your transmitter. I think this isn't fully implemented yet, because the transmitter, it allows you to call in fuel supplies over here. So I'm guessing at some point the transponder is going to allow you to call in like a whole bunch of favors and things for your RP. So you're going to be able to have yourself like resupplied, or you're going to be able to use it like influence in something like Mountain Blade Bannerlord to summon a fleet to like a location that you're at to hit it along with you. Things like that. But for right now, when you have your transponder on, every single like enemy in the area can see that transponder, and they start radioing back your position, which fills up your heat. The radar is kind of similar, but just for line of sight. It just lets you see further around yourself while you're sailing around. And I do like that they had the clicky analog sort of high fleet style buttons over there. We're going to go back for this other destroyer. And now that I'm back in the field, we're going to have to cut really far left on this guy over here. I know you can probably only see like some vaguely green pixels over there, but that's the fleet that we're trying to get, and they don't know we're here right now. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to swing really wide to the left, stay out of his aggro range so that he doesn't see us and doesn't hit us with the spotlights. And then if we can get in just close enough, we can launch all 4 torpedoes like we did with the last destroyer, put him to sleep. I think we can handle his escort. His escort is a much smaller vehicle, and I think we can take him. I think from this angle, we're looking good. I don't see anything blocking us from this direction, so I think we've got him from right there. All right. So we're looking for the second ring. We're going to do the exact same dance we did last time. Second ring is in. Okay, torpedoes are out. Let's go ahead and pull away. We haven't been discovered, so this should be a nice, easy kill. Come on. There's 1, 2, 4. There it is. 4 torpedoes straight to the port side. Spotlights are up. He's looking for us, but he doesn't know where we are. I don't know if that was a splash, though. It's hard to tell if he's sinking down into the water now. It does look like he's getting lower. He's not returning fire either, which means that he's hurt. We got him. Hell yeah. Let's get out of here. All right, so now we just need to scout this place. That's pretty much it. And then our faction should take a swing at it, I think. We'll see if they send anything over there to go and harass. It can be kind of hard to predict. In my opinion, the AI is a little bit passive, and I think the player has probably a little bit too much influence on the battlefield. Who have I taken out now? Oh, yeah, dude. We've gotten a lot of the big ships. This is all my handiwork right here. I did all of this. The only ones that are left are the Yugiri. We've got the Akizuki still. We've got Hatsuyuki. But other than that, it looks like I've gotten all the other ones. So we're sitting pretty high on RP right now. My advice would be just to touch up whatever we have here that can be a little bit stronger. I know that one of my guns is not maxed out, and we can replace it with a Maudus. So I'll probably do that. We also don't have anything utility on the front of the craft. Technically, we could put an anti-tank gun up here. It looks like it does a lot of damage. Don't ask me how the physics of that work. I have no clue how it stays on deck. You do get like an aiming minigame for pretty much every single gun in this game. So like with mortars, you get like an aiming minigame. With artillery, you get an aiming minigame. With torpedoes, you get an aiming minigame. I like that. I think that's really good. Whew, I don't know what I want to put on the deck. What do we have here? Well, we're not quite at the level of equipment yet where we can start fooling around with bigger acoustically guided torpedoes, which would be nice. So torpedoes in this time period were actually pretty marvelous little inventions of simplicity. They would track the sound of the propeller of a ship and basically chase it down using actually a pretty simple assembly that the Navy and various militaries across the planet thought up. Kind of cool. We could get a secondary slot up here with depth charges just in case we run across a submarine. I haven't seen that many submarines. I think the total quantity of submarines I've gone up against in the last 10 hours of playing this game, because I'm an absolute addict for it. This is really, really fun. I've only seen 2 or 3 submarines, and they always stayed submerged and didn't come up to fight or anything. We can also build up a fleet, so if you go over here to Squadron, you know that in the opening of this video, I had boats that were on my team. I don't have boats anymore, but we could pick up a couple. And there you go. You can assign them as an escort to help you on out. My advice would be let the player have way more boats and also larger classes of boats like the destroyers and whatnot. Turn this thing into full-on Mountain Blade on the high seas because that's what you've got already. You've got the spectacle down. You've got the fun down. Like, the thing now is just cultivating a mid-game, late-game where you're not stuck in a PT boat for the rest of the game. You can actually, like, get down and have some cool stuff once you get further on in. I think we got to scuttle the last boat over here. They didn't really try to chase me down or anything. It's 3 in the morning, and we can wipe out the minesweeper over here. Should be easy enough, and then we'll clear the shore for invasion, possibly. So this guy is in a really annoying little spot. He's tucked in on that slip of a dock right there. I'm practically going to have to be on shore before I can hit this guy. So this is going to be a little bit of a mission, I think. Let's go ahead and let's bring up the torpedo launches. And I'm just going to kind of like play around. I'm going to give him like 2 of those and just kind of see what happens. Like if we get through the dock or not. Then we're going to open on him a little bit. I do need to get one of my gunners back on the meat chopper. Yeah, I just need somebody on the meat chopper. Somebody's got to be on there. Hey, we got him. We got him underneath the dock. Good. Now what we need to look for is you're not going to be able to see him real well, but right in front of our conning tower right there. You see that right in the middle of that box? Pillbox. There's a whole bunch of defensive emplacements over here that we're going to need to go ahead and splash. We're going to want to watch out. Some of the bigger emplacements are going to be able to fire mortars. They're going to be able to fire all kinds of nastiness at us. But at this point, this is kind of just like cleanup duty. And this guy dropped some crates. Developer, I would get rid of this system entirely. So when you kill, it's a little arcadey. When you kill a big ship, they drop crates that will give you XP basically so that you can upgrade your ship. I would suggest that it just automatically go into your inventory. Just me personally. That's just kind of how I feel about it. Having to kind of like slide around and grab them mid-combat can be, well, it can be like a fun side objective, I guess. But I'm not quite sure the crazy taxi crates in the water kind of match up with the historical thing the game is going for. I was kind of like meh about it. I figured I'd call in some planes to help me take them out. Just kind of like burp some bullets on all these things over here because I didn't want to make like the long trip to come squabble with these guys. Planes did an okay job. They got like one of them. Still, could have gotten more. Oh, good. They launched a flare. That's nice. I can actually see for a brief moment. That's another thing I would love to see added to this game, the ability to fire your own flares up in the air once you're discovered, because sightlining, either nighttime needs to be way brighter, or there need to be way more spotlights and tools to give the player visibility, because night fights in this game, you miss out on like all the fun and all the visuals of it because you're just aiming at little red circles the whole time, you know what I mean? There we go. Anybody on your ship can be assigned to any job. You can move them all around, but they do have stats that they prefer to hold out with. There it is. We cleared it. And so now what'll happen is the AI will notice that this is basically undefended, and pretty quickly they'll probably, yeah, I was going to say, pretty quickly they're going to deploy a fleet to go hit that thing. I'll probably just lay low for a little bit and wait to see what the AI does. Every single day, based on the amount of RP, or I guess the amount of points you've captured in your playthrough, you do get RP every single morning. That can help you bounce back a lot if you take a loss, because like I said, you don't die in this game when your ship gets sunk. They just give you another ship and you lose a bunch of your RP. Are they attacking here? Where are they attacking at? It says we've got a hostile inbound. They are targeting Lunga. Okay. Yeah, they brought in a big old battle fleet over here. Look at this. You get to use your eyeballs, chat. You actually get to see the action take place because we're finally not doing a night fight. But the fact of the matter is, night fights are really smart when you're trying to kill a ship that can flatten you with its thumb. You know, like, a night raid is usually the best plan. All right, so what do we have here? We just have, like, a bunch of shore defenses. This may get a little hot and spicy before it gets better. But it looks like he's taking bombardment already. We need to maybe squabble with these dudes along the edges. And also, I need one of you guys on the meat chopper. There we go. We'll try to watch out for big hits over here. Try not to get hit by any, like, major shells or anything. We'll try to stay kind of sneaky about this whole thing. As with MMOs, you usually don't want to be inside the big red circle when the bomb lands. I think we can take him. I'm not a hundo on that, but I think we can take him. The real question is, which Fubuki is that, actually? Do we have supply ships here? Oh, we do, dude. We have supply ships here. Well, that'll be nice to have. You love to see it. So basically, if you look in the top right-hand corner, you have repair kits for your ship. You have healing kits for your crew. Only medics can use that. And you also have ammo boxes, 17 out of 24, that you fire at the enemy. And when you run out of ammo, because this is supposed to be a game about hitting and running, you're done. Like, you're out of ammo. You can't shoot anymore. There are no more bullets for you to fire. And so you'll need to retreat and come back and fight again another day. Your job is not to be here to win the battle. Your job is to be here to be kind of a wild card and influence the way a battle goes. He's inside of our range right now. I can't really see. Okay, so we're going to want that. I don't want like that. I don't know if those are going to hit. Those seem a little slow. Maybe. Maybe. Oh, so close. Okay, I needed to lead him a little bit harder. Let's go ahead and come back around. It's okay. This time we're going to get a little bit closer on him. Right there. That's good. And right there. That's probably good. All right, a little bit of damage off on him. Let's get them gunners gunning. Choppers chopping, pistols popping. Let's go. Oh, okay. Yep. Not great. Didn't get my pilot, though, so that's good. We did have 2 torpedoes hit right there, but we lost some crew. We have men overboard. We are absolutely listing right now. We got the destroyer, but we may be going down. He fixed it. There we go. My engineer pulled us back from the brink. Let's recover, boys. Let's go. All right, so who are we missing? We're missing a gunner. We're missing 2 gunners, an engineer. We're missing a bunch of guys in the water over here. We need to go pick them up real fast. Oh, I damaged my engine, too. That's not great. I don't want to fight these guys either. Like, I need to kind of be, like, over here picking up my dudes. You can see them in the water right there. Oh, 2 of them are dead. That's not great. Okay, well, let's hope that the 2 that we get back then can be useful. Let me take a medic, and you get on a gun. That's all we can do. We got no shooters left. One of our shooters is back on board. Never mind. Get off. Your job is going to be to heal them, make sure that they're okay. One of our gunners is back. He's going to get back into the gunnery slot. Hopefully the medic can make this happen. You can give your guys small arms, by the way. So the little guys that are on your deck, you can give them bazookas. You can give them BARs and things that they'll just like fire wildly at the enemy and doing kind of like boat drive-bys. It's a really entertaining game. To my eye, after playing the game for 10 hours, there's a couple problems, though, that need to be sorted out before this game achieves legendary status. So, 1, co-op. This game would be super fun if you could play it with your friends. Oh, no, I lost one of my Boaty McBoat faces, dude. Oh, dude, I like that boat. He was my homie. Ah, well, on to my thoughts about the game. So, first and foremost, I just think the game needs more. I like it. I really like the core gameplay loop. It fills in the gap that Bomber Crew never really capitalized on. Bomber Crew, but with more moving parts, which is a game that I've always wanted. So just more stuff. Can't wait to see where this game is at in another year or 2, because it just needs more options. It just needs more equipment. It just needs more crew perks. It needs more bells and whistles. It just needs to be fleshed out a little bit further, but the sky is definitely the limit for this game. I've been really enjoying it. Some things I think that would take this to the next level: co-op, so that you can play with your friends with everybody having a PT boat that they're running around. I think modding would do wonders for this game, because the World War II modding community are absolutely ridiculous. I guarantee that if they got a hold of this game, they'd be adding all kinds of crazy stuff to it just to make it way more in-depth. I think my main complaints about the title as of right now, having played for about 10 hours in my free time, I wasn't planning on making a video on this game, but I played so much that I was like, well, I might as well throw something together for it. But I think my main complaints are the strategy AI on the overall battle map is very unsophisticated. It's very timid. They're not aggressive enough. Player agency has too much weight in the overall campaign. So, like, neither of the 2 factions really sort of do anything without the player's input. And that shouldn't be the case. It should be a lot more like being a mercenary in Mount and Blade Warband, in the respect that the war should go on without you, but you can influence little corners of it. It should constantly be serving you up opportunities to have big 50 versus 50 ship battles, but it doesn't really. Your team only really attacks once you've conquered a port after the first couple hours for them. They only go for like the free gimmies, and the Japanese don't really seem to attack that much after 3 or 4 hours either, because both sides are so fortified that they don't want to step at each other. That needs to change. That needs to be differentiated. That needs to be gotten rid of. Like, the war should flow. It should have like a tempo to it. If you don't interact with it, someone should eventually go on to fight and win. If you do interact with it, you should be able to influence that. But I think that was one of my big complaints. And then the AI for boat control. So when the AI is controlling both the boats that are in your fleet and are in enemy fleets and are in allied fleets, they're really dumb, and they crash into like docks and things like that a lot. They're constantly just kind of playing poorly, and so that needs to be improved. And then from there, more battle maps, but that kind of folds back into what I was talking about earlier, where I feel like the game just needs more stuff. I would love to see some limited control over production and commands and things on the overworld map to play it almost like a Hearts of Iron game. There's so many ideas with this game that my brain is brimming with that this could go and develop on into, but the promise is already there. The fact of the matter is, if you get down to core basics here, is the game fun? Yes, it's super fun. It can get a little bit repetitive as you get into like mid to late game, but it is still super fun. And it's it's only a year into early access, and they've already released a couple of big, chunky content patches, and so I'm going to be checking back in on this one every couple months. I think this is really rad. It's the more complicated version of Bomber Crew that I was hoping Space Crew would be, but wasn't. And it's all wrapped up in kind of like that micro prose charm. My name is Splattercat. I sift through the pile to find what's worthwhile in the world of indie games every single day so you don't have to. Today up on the chopping block, it was Boat Crew. Tomorrow it'll be something else. This is my final video until the day after Christmas. Just wanted everybody to be appraised of that. I'm going to be taking the next 3 or 4 days off just to rest. I've been really burned out this year with work and all that kind of stuff. I've been having a hard time putting videos together every single day. I'm exhausted and I'm frustrated, so I feel like taking a long Christmas holiday is a good plan. I will see you all on Tuesday. Thanks for hanging out, and that's about all I got for you. Bye, folks.